Okay. We are live on YouTube.
Ooh, is there a way for me to see who's watching?
If you go on YouTube to go to unlock your design, you can see who's watching, but it doesn't do that on Zoom. Oh, I can hear us on my other tab. We are live on YouTube. Is there a way for me? Okay, there we go.
Oh,
Wonderful. Hi. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to take a moment to share this in on Facebook. I'm here with Michael Peterson and hi, yay. We are going to be introducing our new 2-day workshop. So,
yay.
Michael, you wanna come in and introduce yourself and get us
Sure.
great.
Hey, everybody. I have no idea who's here, which I think is really fitting for this workshop because it is the unknown. And I think that I'll start by just giving you a little bit about myself as Ashley shares. So, for those of you coming in from the Unlock Your Design container, Uh, I am a 5-1 reflector with the left angled cross of refinement. So that means that the 19th archetype or the 19th gene key or the 19th hexagram is my life's work. And I have the 33 or the medicine woman, which is currently in transit in my chart 3 times. It is my evolution, it is my culture, and it is my pearl. So there's this dynamic of how do we approach sensitivity in a way that is mindful and medicinal and can allow for there to be this massive revelation without falling victim to oversensitivity, especially when we're human beings and we have a body that feels a lot. So the other part of my chart that is kind of relevance right now is that I've got the 2 as my purpose or my design earth. And so it's all about orientation. So when we're orienting towards life, towards our experience, like what is that orientation informing us about? And if you look at the 19 and the 33, approaching something or retreating from it, it's the same action, but just with the opposite orientation. When I was growing up, nobody really ever asked me what I wanted to be or kind of what I wanted to do. It was a lot of pressure, and you're going to go and you're going to do this thing. And so there was a lot of feeling involved, but there wasn't a lot of curiosity and openness. And over time, that was exhausting because I felt a lot. Imagine a reflector growing up in a world that doesn't know these systems and is intentionally there to put pressure on you and tell you how you should be and what should be there, um, and rebelling against that. And so, as a 5-1, really rebelling against it, saying, no, I'm going to be a little heretical here. And so, by the time that I kind of got through the end of my traditional educational track and checked off the boxes to make everybody happy, uh, I took a moment to look around. I actually had a chance to do a retreat and go inside and say, what's the way forward that is going to make me happy? And I didn't know the answer to that. I just knew what wasn't going to make me happy. And so I went on a journey. I went deep, deep, deep down a plant medicine rabbit hole, uh, which I guess is very fitting for the 33. But at the end of that journey, I was kind of looking around and saying, what's the point of all this? Like, my journey was all about moving from this super intellectual world where feeling wasn't okay and here's all this pressure into the body, which is super sensitive and feels all of the things, and the empowerment that comes through that. And when we're feeling a lot, when I was feeling a lot, uh, it was this question of, how can I approach life in a way that will feel good? And that's kind of where this workshop, I guess, got birthed out of. It's like, how do we step into life, into the mystery, into the unknown, specifically through the lens of the body and all of the mysteries that it holds, in a way that will guide us, that will empower us, that will allow us to make sensitivity a superpower instead of a curse. And, to really condition our energetic bodies to be able to navigate a world that is screaming really loudly in pain on an energetic level. And how can we become better vessels that can hold ourselves and navigate that terrain in a way that allows us to be of service to others and move from that place of just individuated sensitivity, okay, I can hold it, to how can I be of service to others, sacrifice that hard earned individuality so that whatever wants to be revealed through me can be revealed. So it's very much so related to the stance of the 19, the 33, bringing something new in, moving out of numbness from when we feel too much in the 1, finding orientation with the 2, navigating through the stress and the pressures of life so that we can be free to be present and go on this adventure that we call life. And for me, that adventure is a mystery, it is an unknown. And this workshop is all about diving into it.
Into the unknown.
Into the unknown.
Yeah.
We sang
Wonderful.
that song a lot.
I know that song came before we knew what the workshop was. My reflector daughter had that Frozen Part 2 on repeat for a while. And meanwhile, Michael and I had done an interview. I don't even remember when we did it. You were the very first person to do a Portal Guardian interview. That's now live on you or uploaded on YouTube. You can watch that. We speak about the 19. We go and I show you his charts as well. The 33 comes in, the 2 comes in, the 1 comes in. We bring in all of them because we're not just one archetype. We're not just one of these. They come together and we can't really separate them because having the 19 as your life's work is also influenced by all the other parts of your chart as well. So the 35 comes in, the 2 comes in, all the pieces, the 52 comes in, for him in particular. And we did the Portal Guardian interview and he was the Portal Guardian for the Utarian. And I knew that for some of the interviews that I did, I wanted to do a workshop with the people I was interviewing. And so Michael and I had done a workshop in the past. We did some, I think we called it, what did we call it? Descanso? What was that workshop called for the
It
inner
was
circle?
it was called D3, and we did it with
D3.
Joe. It was Descanso, Despacho, and there was something else in there.
Right. There was 3. So yeah. So we
Devotion. Devotion was the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
one.
So we had done workshops before in the past, and as a fellow 5-1, I kind of like the dynamic. I like how we do things together. And so we had been discussing about doing a workshop together and bringing it through for some time. It's been a lunar cycle. It's been more than a lunar cycle. So we've kind of had time to bring in the details and process it and figure it out and see what wants to be asked of us and how we're going to put it together. So we decided to bring you all a 2-day workshop. And like Michael said, it's about navigating sensitivity. It's about finding your orientation, whether it is you're orienting outward or inwards, like you are moving towards something. And you don't have to have the 19 to attend this workshop. But for those of you that do have the 19, it's definitely beneficial. And because Michael has and I have different archetypes in our chart, they come through into this workshop as well. So it's not exclusively for people that have the 19. It brings in aspects of the 35 where we have adventure and boundlessness and hunger. It brings in aspects of the 2 where we're orienting, or the 1 where we're creating and sparking. It's many different archetypes come into this, and we can all agree that life is moving fast, that we're in the technological age, things are happening quickly, that we are bombarded with lots of different stimuli, lots of different distractions. We're also looking for guidance and things outside of ourselves. Even these systems can be a distraction. Going into human design gene keys, we're looking for our purpose, we're looking for something to do, we're looking for something to offer, we're looking for who we are. Seekers and wanderers on this world, trying to figure out, why am I here, what do I do? And one of the main questions is, who am I, how do I want to be? And from that place, offering that into the world. But I think it gets so easy to be distracted by everybody doing and being in the world because we're sensitive. And one of the main truths is that we're not disconnected. We are connected. We're connected to each other. We're connected to the earth. We're connected to the universe, to the cosmos. We are a system, a living system. And while I might be a pointer finger and you might be a pinky or maybe a toe or a knee or whatever on this greater body, we need to work together. We're a team, right? We're a team. And so we kind of need to figure out what our purpose is. Like a finger is going to do different things than, I don't know why this is popping in, a rectum. Like, I don't know.
The root
It's gonna
energy is strong today.
I know. It's gonna do different things, and we've got to know how are we put together. It can be so distracting seeing somebody do something over here, somebody giving guidance. Nothing's cookie cutter. So how do we orient ourselves and then navigate the noise, navigate all the stuff?
And I think you pointed to it as well, actually. Like, let's bring in the 35. Like, we're hungry. We are hungry for clarity. We are hungry for guidance. We're hungry for healing. And whatever your views on the stage of life that the human race is going through right now, we're being sold answers left and right. Oh, you take this track. Oh no, you go into the gene keys in human design. That's going to be your medicine. You have to meditate. You have to do all of these things. So, what is that answer? You're going to go try and sample all of these different flavors, and everybody's going to be there saying, "Oh, I have found the answer. I know what it is." And as soon as we say we know the answer, we have disengaged from the mystery because we are hungry for clarity. And as soon as we disengage from the mystery, we've lost connection to ourselves because we are a mystery. And so, ironically, we become hungry for that connection and we start looking for external systems to tell us who we are, how we're here to be, what we're here to do. And so I want to be really clear that what we are offering through this workshop It's not another system that's going to tell you who you are or how to be. It is putting forth a strategy, an approach, to use the words of the 19, that is going to invite your awareness into the body in a way where you will be able to inform yourself
Mhm.
who you are, what you're here to be, how you're here to be, what it means for you to be real and the real you. And so I think that for a lot of these systems, they're maps. And we have so many different maps, and it's wonderful. I'm glad that we live in a time where all of these systems are coming to us with their different maps and we can look at them. But how can we learn to navigate that terrain? And I think what we need is a compass. And the body is a compass. But if we can't use the compass, if we can't get in tune with it, if we can't listen to it, then we have this amazing tool that's worthless to us. And that's sad. So that's another reason to come into the body and to learn how, which is something that I think this workshop offers.
Yes. This is a two-part workshop. So it's actually starting next week. We're going to have day one on the 6th of August. And that is going to be giving you the foundation of the real compass. And it's going to be introducing you to some of the challenges and pitfalls when it comes to entering the body, when it comes to approaching the mystery. And then on day 2, we are going to practice using the real compass. And yeah, I feel that it's universal. Anybody can use this, and it's not going to limit you in any way, because the way you engage and interact with the compass is going to be unique to you. So you're going to have to ask yourself, what does it mean to be real? And we're going to explain and unpack the parts of the compass so that you know how to utilize it. And then when it comes to using it for yourself, you're going to have to go inward and ask, what does it mean to be real? Am I relaxed? Am I engaged? Am I authentic? Am I loving? And yeah, that's going to take practice to keep bringing it back and remembering, oh, I have this tool. And it's not a complex, complicated tool. It shouldn't be, because then we don't want to use it. And it can't be used in all the situations. So what we're offering to you is the compass so you can interact with these maps. So when you come to containers, or when you're interacting with people, or when you're in a Zoom call, am I being real? And then if you're not tuning in, why did I disengage? What happened here? And going back to tend to yourself, because we don't want to be disassociated and we don't want to be up in our head. We want to be fully embodied. And so this tool is going to help you be embodied. Take up space inside of yourself.
You have a home. It's here.
Yes. Okay, well, let me, I'm going to share some details about the course, the masterclass, and how you can register for that. And first, I did want to give you a little sneak peek into Michael. So I have his chart. He did speak about some of the aspects of his chart, and I wanted to just show you who he is, to be really transparent, especially if you know anything about Gene Keys and human design. This is Michael. He is a reflector, meaning all the centers are undefined. And what makes him an authority in being able to speak to the 19 is that it's his life's work. In the 5th line, 5th lines are here to be practical. They're here to universalize. They're here to kind of reach the pinnacle of the mountain and be a master of some sort, so that they can be a teacher, right? The 6th line starts looking at the other hexagram that's coming forward. So for Michael, he's here to master sensitivity. And so he's going to have to understand what it is to live in an overstimulated world where there's lots of distractions and lots of limitations and lots of projections, having the fifth line and the second line. So he's here to be able to create and originate these different tools, because fifth lines love tools as well, that are going to help him navigate that sensitivity with as much ease as possible when he remembers. And he's here to communicate that and share that with people, because it is, I mean, his life's work is also in the third house, which is all about communication. So he's here to name and share about these sensitivities and also bring forth that practical solution, because also he's here to create and innovate. The first line's a creator line, and the first hexagram is the spark. In the 12th house, how are we going to freaking communicate and name something that is so deep down into the energetic realm, or in the subconscious, or in the unconscious? He's got that in the 12th house. So he's here to bring something out of that realm to be able to help us navigate life, because you're not just experiencing and interacting with things on a 5 sense level. We also have things that are happening in the energetic realm. We also have things that are happening in different places and inside of ourselves too, that are unconscious. And so when you start to disengage with life, you have to ask yourself, what triggered inside of me? What alarm went off? And go down into the subconscious to really do the work to remember that, oh, I need to come into the body, but somehow I don't feel safe, or somehow I feel triggered, or somehow this and that. So yeah. And he is here to offer these calls to adventure, to bring you back into remembering who you are and who you're here to be, not just what you're here to do, really who you are here to be. So yeah, Michael, did you want to share anything else about who you are, about your credentials, meaning
Sure.
what's in your chart? What are your credentials?
Well, I will say, yes, this chart is something external that tells me exactly who I am. But within the system of human design, right, I'm a reflector. That's the label and the title. And if you know about open centers, you know that any center that we have is the most prone to conditioning. So reflectors are the most prone beings to conditioning. And that teaches us so much. But to parse out what is authentic to my conditioning and what is authentic to who I am, and to kind of cut away those attachments to the things that were part of my conditioning that don't serve me, that has been one of the really big teachers in my life as well, that has informed how do I feel into these things? How do I unlock it? How do I stay mindful without dictating something? Because there is no set energy in my chart. There's no defined center. So it's always changing. Who am I today? What does it mean for me to be authentic today? And how do I want to engage in life today? And that is really the core of my chart, is what's going on today. And
What's alive?
what's alive? How do I want to work with that? So it's constantly recalibrating, constantly finding orientation, exploring what it means. And so I also really understand the pain and the numbness and the frustration and the disappointment and the anger and the bitterness that can come from not being aligned with oneself. And if I might pat myself on the back here during Leo season, I think there's some pretty good ways that have come through, or that I've discovered, to help navigate that and come back to that authentic place of, this is who I am right now, and this is how I can operate skillfully without needing to put on a mask or hide or disengage. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yay. And so Michael is obviously, he's the creator of the Real Compass and the facilitator of this workshop with me. And so Into the Unknown is where we're going to introduce you to that Real Compass. And If you're wanting to be real, then this is for you. If you're wanting to be authentic, if you're wanting to be you in the world, if you're wanting to identify your conditioning and start realigning and reorienting with yourself versus the things that kind of pull you off center, then this is for you. This is for you if you are on, a self-development path. Like, it's important to have this tool, a compass, so that you can navigate the things that you are interacting with in this world. And this brings you back to yourself, which all these systems, Gene Keys, human design, astrology, it's here to remind you of you. It's here to bring you back to yourself. So when we get distracted or we get disengaged or we start to get scared or fearful of the unknown because life is bringing us something uncertain, we can come back to the compass and know, I've got this. I've got me. I have this navigation system. I have the wisdom inside of me, and I can enter the unknown. I can approach the unknown. And maybe the unknown is calling you. It's a whisper, it's a pull, it's a draw. You're actually being oriented to it. You're not necessarily, like Michael said, here to name the mystery and be like, this is what the mystery is. This is the meaning of life. This is the thing. Some things are meant to be unknown. And some things you're here to navigate. And some things you're here to discover on your own. And like the westward movement, California, Oregon, like that was unknown. Someone's like, I'm called to this land. What did they find here? They found gold. And then everybody's like, wow, okay, I'm going to come. You never know if you're going to strike gold or oil or diamonds in the unknown, but you got to go there. I mean, if you guys saw Sweet Tooth, it's a series on Netflix. Some guy went into the cave and found a flower, and then the sick went everywhere, and then it created a new species. Anyways, there are many things that happen when you enter the unknown. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Maybe it's not good for human race, but maybe it's good for the evolution of human race, because maybe we're raping and pillaging the land and we need to come back to nature. I don't know. Whatever it is, you uniquely are called to the music that lives in the unknown. Right now, it might be a whisper, but aren't you going to feel a lot better entering that if you have a compass? If you have a way to navigate back to yourself too. And we're in Leo season, like Michael said. It's given us some courage. So roar, lion, roar. You can do this. You can go into the unknown. And the adventure is calling. So will you answer it? Whether it is this workshop or not, I think that there are great mysteries that are here to be explored by you individually. I'm here to create something. Michael's here to create something. You're here to create something that nobody has ever seen before. But you can't do that from a place of comfort and knowing. You've got to enter the unknown. So into the unknown we go. And like I said, it's happening Tuesday, August 6th and Thursday, August 8th. It's happening at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So this will be two-part. This day will set the foundation as 5-1s do. And then here we'll give you the practicals tool and start practicing and applying it. And we'll bring you into meditation to also help you install this technology, because it is a technology. And it also takes practice. It also takes picking up that compass and returning to it. So we're giving you something that you're going to be using long after the workshop is over. Anything you want to add, Michael?
I think that covered it really well. Another way of looking at the 2-day framework instead of foundation and then practicum is that it mirrors the trajectory that we're on. The first day is that mental layer overview of like, here's where we're at, here's the orientation, here's what's going on. And then the second day is, now let's bring that knowledge into the body and have it become wisdom. And this isn't complicated, as Ashley pointed out earlier. Like, if it's overly complicated, we're not going to use it. And so this isn't another piece of information that you're picking up that is going to overwhelm you and be another thing that you have to think about and factor into all your decisions. It's very simple, and it's somatic, and it informs you and guides you forwards. So if you hear the call to adventure, I hope you say yes.
Yay! Please do if you feel called. No is a acceptable answer too. You're going to be able to find the way to register for this at bit.ly/real compass under like lowercase letters. And I'll also post the link inside of it's in the YouTube chat right now, and it'll also be in the YouTube description. And I'll send out some emails as well so that you can join. But if you feel the call and you do it now, get your seat reserved, and we'll be able to see you next Tuesday. So thank you, and I hope that you'll join us.
Thanks, everyone.
And thank you, Michael.
Thanks, Ashley.
Okay.